Hi there, Clara. Nice to see you.
Hi, Pacharee. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for making time for me to talk about your market. Yeah. So and I want to welcome the audience also for joining us in this interview session today. I'm here today with Miss Clara, who leads up Elope Communications out of Vietnam. It is a well-known prominent agency. So I want to let her introduce a little bit about herself and the kind of work she does and, you know, some of the clients that she serves.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Clara, and I am the head of Elope Communications, a Vietnam-based public relations and marketing agency. I've worked in Vietnam and Southeast Asian markets, offering consulting services from market entry to marketing solutions for many national and regional campaigns. And some of my clients include the technology clients like Fiber and Intel and Dell. And we do have healthcare clients, GSK, Merck Pharmaceuticals, along with other local pharmaceutical companies. And other sectors that we touch on include education, F&B, and hospitality. My expertise includes PR and marketing consultancy, especially crisis communication and strategic planning. Alongside working with clients, I also have an active participation in the academic world. I do academic research and academic presentations, as well as doing some of the university lecturing as well. So That is me in a nutshell.
Lovely. Thank you so much for that introduction. So let's just dive right in. The subject for today is market entry into Vietnam in the new normal. So moving forward post-COVID. Let's talk about how's the local market doing right now? What's going on in Vietnam?
Okay, sure. So like most of you have known, last year in 2019, Vietnam was ranked 8th among the 29 best economies to invest in by the World Bank. But this year, because of the COVID-19 happened, in this age of globalization, we all engaged in an interdependent relationship. So COVID-19 hit hard on many countries and quickly came to Vietnam. And as a result, the international borders, the commercial flights now already shut down, and our trade-dependent economy is suffering from financial loss. However, I think in this new normal, there are two rising features of the Vietnam economy that one can easily recognize: the pandemic control and the new consumer behavior and technology transformation. Our local government has made different initiatives to successfully put the pandemic under control. The country now focuses on increasing domestic demands, and a lot of multinational companies already take the advantage in these domestic activities. And upsides from the COVID-19, people are more open-minded to new consumer behaviors and new technologies. As you know, for example, in the communication industry, new working methods are emerging, including virtual events, online seminars, working from home, or online interviews like what we are doing right now. So Vietnamese people are no exception. We are adapting to this new normal era with vast adoption of new behaviors and technologies, and that open up more opportunities for companies and businesses in the tech sector as well.
Great. So I want to touch on the point where you're talking about consumer behavior outside of some of the things you're talking about, which is a lot of things are going online. What is commerce like? Has commerce like online e-commerce boomed much more than it did before, or since now Vietnam started to open up, it kind of boomed and went back, and people still prefer to go back to the actual shops? Can you touch a little bit about that?
Oh, certainly. So e-commerce and online businesses in Vietnam have been booming for quite some time right now. But because of COVID-19, people are more hesitant to go outside to shop or to dine or to do any normal activities. So they turn to online for those activities. So they do more online shopping. Regular businesses, they have their online presence at the moment. They try to adapt themselves to the e-commerce mentality. And I want to say that some of them were not prepared ahead of time because COVID-19 just happened so suddenly. But right now they are gradually adapting themselves to the e-commerce, to the online business, and it is going rather well for them.
Okay, good. I remember when some of your platforms are not like the same as those as in Thailand. What is the one that's like super popular, like that people go to for you guys? The e-commerce.
We have Lazada.
Yeah.
We have Lazada. It is like an international e-commerce platform, so it is in countries. But we also have a local e-commerce, which is Tiki. And
Yes.
Tiki is quite interesting. They position themselves as Vietnamese Amazon. And they started, just as Amazon, they started as a book selling platform online.
Oh,
But
okay.
right now they are doing so many things from electric appliances, videos, music, vouchers, coupons, travel,
Oh, wow.
anything you can think of.
Anything that's you can buy.
I think they are really similar to Amazon, like both in the variety of products they sell, the customer service, and the fast delivery that they are having right now.
Okay, so quite popular, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's now move to, so how does this new normal apply to international companies that wants to do entry into Vietnam? You know, what do they have to do? You know, what do they have to think about, like now that, you know, after let's say COVID is long gone and we have the vaccine, what do companies have to think about as they want to do entry into your market?
So the new normal doesn't mean that everything is completely new or everything has changed. Of course, there are some new aspects, but the essence of doing business is quite the same. In this case, the need and demand have always been the main reasons for market entry, regardless of COVID-19. So finding the right local partners contributes greatly to the success of the business entry. The best partners are the ones that have both industry expertise and the international experience, which means they have worked with all the cultures and business approaches. But the difference is in this new normal context, I must add that a partner who has experience in dealing with uncertainties or crises or business disruptions would be a huge bonus because they are more adaptable to the situation and they can support their international partner better. And doing market entry in this new normal also requires flexibility. If there is one lesson from COVID-19, it is the need for business to be more open and to be flexible. So whatever happened to them, they can quickly adapt the strategies, adapt the objectives to meet the new demands in the market.
And speaking about partners, because you mentioned that to me in the past, that it's, you know, very important to get the right partner. And one of the services that Elo helps, you know, companies do is sourcing those partners or doing the business matching. What would you say would be like the top 3 things you need to think about when you're deciding on a partner as part of the entry?
Okay, so the short answer is working with us.
Okay.
But the longer version is that there are different things we can recommend our clients to do when they have their first idea of entering Vietnam. The first thing is to do market research. This will help identify and analyze the market size, demands, competition, and a lot more. Some companies just skip the market's research altogether because they think they already make the right decision. But doing the market research will help them in a long way because they can understand a lot more about the customers, what they are looking for, and the difference like local culture and nuances that they have to be aware of. And the second step is business matchmaking, which means identify the relevant business opportunities and establishing connections with reliable potential companies in the local market. And from the business matchmaking, they can the international companies can do some market visit as well. This is the most important step for a foreign company to build trust with a local partner because we Vietnamese, we prefer face-to-face interactions. And from that, the two sides can strike the right deal depending on the unique requirements, budgets, and business objectives. And last but not least, it is the marketing support. Most market entry companies here don't offer the marketing parts for the two companies to find an agency on their own. But I think for Vietnamese partners, especially the importers and distributors, they would need some help from the international companies to conduct some initial marketing activities, to get the brand name out there, to build awareness, and to give a little boost when the business first launches. And that is why we want to be an A to Z agency offering from market entry to marketing support, because that will better help the international company and the local partner to succeed in this Vietnam market.
Mm-hmm. I like what you said about trust and that it needs to be face to face. So I want to ask you then, how do you earn that trust, number one? And then that's one side, right? Because you have to do it face to face, and then you have now so much of our work is online or via online video conferencing. On the other side of that is, how can a company build this reputation to gain the trust, more from media relations or other aspects?
Okay, so the first question is how to build the trust with the local partner.
Yes.
For the local partners, they want to see a plan. It is not only about product introduction. Of course, you will need to show them the different characteristics, the features, the unique selling points of your products or services. But in the long run, they want to see a plan like, okay, because we are partners, so how do we work together in the long run? How do you support us in the marketing activities? How do you see ourselves together in 2 to 5 years along the way? So those things, they want to see
projections,
Yeah, they want to see projection. They want to see a goodwill of a long-term partnership. It's not only to sell them the products, but more or less a long-term partnership, something they can just work together and build on it. So that is the first thing the Vietnamese distributors or importers would look for, and they want to know more about the different benefits or the different supports they can receive from the international partners. Mm-hmm. And that is what I see being the very first steps of building the trust for the local partners. And afterward, it's just like implement the plan. Like, okay, if you already have a business development plan or a marketing plan, then the two parties can just work together to implement it. And sometimes we will help that as well. We don't stop at the business matchmaking. After a success matching, we will also do a long-term support for them, like business registration, marketing, things like that, just to follow up and just to make sure that this partnership is a success. And for your second question, how to build the trust for the consumers or the customers, that is kind of a tricky question. It depends on the products, but usually Vietnamese people would prefer endorsement, testimonies, or reviews, because we see too much too many promotions nowadays. There are so many advertisings out there, too many if you go online or you go offline, you go outside or inside the house, you always see so many kinds of ads and promotions. They're just crying for attention from you. So how do you tell from one thing to the next? And then so they would look more for endorsement from the peers, from the peers, from the mentors, from sometimes from the celebrities, but it's more or less they want like genuine reviews of the product, or they want, let's say, free sample just to try themselves, things like that, because they want to see with their very own eyes if these products can work. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how it is in other markets, but in Vietnam, they just want to do the try and true thing.
Oh, okay. So it would be good if it's possible to give some free samples or allow the consumer to try it first, right?
Yeah. Or even you can see your peer reviews. Like, okay, if your friends use it, you may want to use it. Right. Not less, I would say friends reviews, peer reviews are working pretty good nowadays. Not only, even though they are not influencers, they're not celebrities, but like word of mouth, genuine relationship, genuine reviews work.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that tip. So, what are the factors that you think foreign companies should keep in mind when entering?
I would say the local norms and the unique media landscape in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. So the local norms and culture, as in anywhere else, they say when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So Vietnam is a very high context country with its own social norms. The local people prioritize the tradition, what they always do and feel and like. So when working with local employees or pitching a product to local customers, foreign brands should be aware of these. Making a mistake or disrespect these norms might lead to discomfort or even a large-scale boycott, which is now very easy thanks to the cancel culture and the adoption of social media.
Yes.
And the second thing is the government-owned media landscape. Unlike in many capitalism countries, every legal news media here in Vietnam is owned by the government and is met with a certain level of censorship. Vietnamese reporters, they prefer to work with local people. So it is recommended that foreign brands have a local representative to build a relationship with them. While the social media is on the rise, traditional media is still trusted by the public. So knowing the media landscape and how the media work here could be an advantage to the businesses.
It's interesting that you say that, Clara, that there's still a big trust in the traditional media. I think Vietnam is one of the countries with a very young population, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think is it 50% or is it more than that? That's under.
I think it's more than that.
Yeah, that are millennials, right? Millennials and Gen Z. The older generation is actually fewer, unlike other markets like Japan or North America, where you have the aging because the longevity, the healthcare has gotten better, and as a result, you have people living much longer. Yeah, so that's interesting to know. Good. Is there anything else that you want to share with audiences who are considering, entry into Vietnam?
Can I say a shout out that Vietnam is an ideal destination for you to do business in?
Sure, yeah. And then what are your reasons for saying that?
Well, I see a whole lot of inquiries from the Europe, from Poland, Belgium, France, and other countries in the Europe wanting to make an entry here in the Vietnam market. And here's why.
Okay.
First, it is the ideal location to do international business. We lie in the heart of Indochina. You can easily connect with Bangkok, where you are based at, and Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, you name it, within a few-hour flight. Furthermore, the long coastal line harbors many world-class deep water ports. It makes the convenience in transport and making Vietnam a business transit hub for cargoes and passengers. And second, like you just noticed, it is our young and fast-growing market with heightening purchasing power. In the recent years, Vietnam is transforming at a rapid pace. In the last 10 years, the GDP per capita tripled and empower its consumers with significantly more purchasing power. And at the same time, Vietnam has one of the fastest growing middle class in the region. The upper middle income proportion is predicted to grow from less than 1% in 2011 to almost 10% in 2030. So demands for consulting services in IT, HR, business development also has gone up tremendously. So we can say that Vietnam is still in its growing phase with the product's life cycle, and the market is open for business for both startups and established entities. And there are a couple more other reasons, including the trade openness, the talent, modern infrastructure, and the economic and political stability. The country's success is in controlling COVID-19, like we discussed earlier, also adds in some of the attractiveness to the market.
Yes, you guys were very good at taking swift actions on that. And I think the other country that was, some of the other countries that also took very good, quick, swift actions were like Taiwan and New Zealand. So they were able to take good control of what was happening with their citizens. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you everyone for listening in to Clara. And I will be sharing information on how you can get in touch with Elo Communication. Clara and I are part of the PRN network, and this is my first interview as part of the Market Entry series, which I'll be continuing and doing with other partners in our PRN network. So thank you, Clara, for your time, and you have a great day.
Thank you, Pacharee. You too.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode. Please click like and subscribe. If we could be of service to you or someone you know, please send us an email or give us a call. Thank you and have a great day.